how the family unit should work. And during this time, it's just been tough for families to connect, and for me to see them connecting and staying involved in each other's lives and decorating and still jovial and joyous. It's special, man. So I want to holler out to the Jones family and say, y'all keep it up, man. Y'all represent well, you know. So Lucia, I always got to holler out my sponsors first before we get
Absolutely.
started. Very important, very important. So we got Au Pair Law, my man Clay. Please give him a call. We're going to put up their information and logos after the show. MGM Haberdashery, my man Marcus, he's got some crazy hats, man. Oh, Lord. He went really crazy on the hat thing, so he's doing the hat thing real well. We have Cashland, my man John Cash. He has a new location, 1341 Braden Street in Baltimore, Maryland. This location is off the chain. Get there, get your sweatsuits, support this brother. Once again, small businesses, minority business, support them. The Cigar Diva, she's back up and at it. Her birthday was this past week, and we're saying happy birthday to you, Tracy. We're looking forward to you and much more success. My man Sterling Associates Home Improvement. Prominent Home Inspection, my man Chris Colbert. Give him a call if you're buying a home, need your home inspected, lead, commercial, residential, whatever it is, give him a call to Electric Butterfly. If you're into that health thing, you're into sea moss, you're into black soap, you're into whatever. This young lady got drinks, she got everything, man. It's almost too crazy, to be honest with you. But she's a tough cookie. She knows her stuff. So give Janet a call. Delia Fragrances, she had a show 2 days after Thanksgiving showing how she's creating her fragrances. And this sister's, she used to live here in Baltimore. Now she lives in Detroit. We got to support this young lady. She's trying to break the norm and show you guys how this thing is not that expensive and how you can get a nice fragrance and get it inexpensively and get your own flavor, whatever you like. So she's doing her thing. But I want to talk about one more person that is going to send my girl Lucia a test package. She sent me my male test package, but I said, you got to send the female test package. It's Essence of Youth Face. And her name is Miss Mary Woods. She's got this cleansing face and get the stuff off your face and get your beard right, get your face right, get your tight and all that kind of stuff. She's got product and she's thinking about joining on board, so she's sending us product and we want to support her, and that is essenceofyouthface.com, and her name is Mary Woods, and she's from my hometown. I love her to death, and she's got a great product. And last but not least, my friend Yale called me and he said, Rick, I want you to check this out. And it's called poiset-shirt.com. Go there, spend some money with these African-American small businesses, spend some money with them, support them. Yale and his wife, Andrea, I think her name is, has started this site. Nice T-shirts, especially for the women. I wish I had a copy of it. I'll probably post one of the T-shirts on. I'm definitely going to buy the women in my family a T-shirt to support him. But we're asking all of you guys to support him as well as he ventures out in this new venture. We got to support the entrepreneurs. So good morning, Lucia. How are you doing, baby? Can't hear you.
Happy belated Thanksgiving to everyone.
Happy belated
Sorry about that. I don't know how that happened. I went on mute.
Yeah,
I pray that everybody's had a happy and a safe Thanksgiving on last week. I will say that this Thanksgiving season and holiday has been quite different.
Has been interesting. We want to get into it, guys. And listen, tag a friend, tell somebody. It's going to be about family. We're going to open the lines. We want you guys to talk about your experiences, what you believe and think as well. We want this to be interactive as possible. So the last 20, 25 minutes of the show is going to be dedicated to you guys calling in and asking questions, or you guys just making a quick comment and keeping it moving. Hey, Leslie, Harry, how are you? Faith Cole, hi, Gwen Thornton, how are you? And my girl T is on the line as well. I'm hoping her mother joins on more because her mother's a beautiful lady. So listen, I have to share this, man, but I got to share some bad news. So you guys know I'm from a little town called Newburgh, New York. We call it 12550, right outside 60 miles exactly out of north of New York City, around the other side of West Point Military Academy, literally 20 minutes from West Point Military Academy. But this little town has put out a lot of hits and more in the sports realm. And one of our good brothers, man, and I'm a little older than him. But my brothers, Cathell and Darnell and Mike, all played with him basketball. He went to school NFA. He's a goldback. His name was Terry Williams. His name is, we called him Big LD. And Big LD was a 6'11" kid, went to SMU. He made it to the NBA, but unfortunately he passed away just before Thanksgiving. And the Newberg family is hurting. You know, his family, the Williams family, is hurting. And we want to send our prayers and our condolences and all our love to him and his family, man, during this tough time. The Facebook pages have been flooding. He was a well-known guy. He was a gentle giant. He was a great guy, a good guy. You know, we all have our ups and downs and everything. He went to the NBA life and did his thing and played hard and lived a good life, man. And we want to say we love you, man. And the McLaren family want to send out their condolences to the Williams family and say, keep on pressing through. God has his hand on your family. Believe me. Trust and believe. But last but not least, man, I got to call out my prayer warriors. You guys know I give this function all the time, and I got a good friend. He's going to hate me for this, but it is what it is. I got to call out the prayer warriors. My man, Dwayne Peterkin, you know my man. He was my barber back when I first came here in this town in 1995, and he's been my friend since 1995. But he has a wife by the name of Miss Bev. Everybody knows whenever I give a function, him and Miss Bev show up, and they show out and dance and have a good time. But Miss Bev is in the hospital. We have to pray for her, and we got to hope that she can get better. And it seems like she is making some progress, but I'm calling on more prayer warriors, and please pray for Miss Bev. And then, secondly, I want you to pray for Dwayne, because Dwayne is struggling at this particular point in time, can't go to the hospital, can't really communicate, can't hold a hand, can't pray for her in person, can't talk to her. He loves to sing, can't sing to her, and he's really struggling at this particular point in time. So please, prayer warriors, get in that closet, get on your floor, get on your knees, and please pray for Miss Bev. That's it of the. I'm sorry I have to ask that, but I'm asking of those things, and pray for the Williams family.
Amen.
I ask that in Jesus' name. Hey mom, love you, baby. My mom just joined on board. Good to see you. So guys, listen, today, me and Lucia have been trying to get on for the last 2 weeks, and we've had some conflicts, and I had some calendar mess ups, and we couldn't attend. So we wanted to talk during the month of November, a little bit about family. So we're going to continue that same vein this morning around family. I am a proponent. I'm telling you something. I had a tough Thanksgiving because usually Thanksgiving, I host Thanksgiving. That means my family from near and far come to my home. I cook everything. I pay for everything. Hotels, we do it all. And they come and we have a joyous weekend. Usually it turns into be a weekend because it's Thursday, then Black Friday. My nieces, they go shopping. And this year, and my daughter was the only one who came up from afar anyway. My niece, Dukes, came through, which was great. And then my other niece, Kendall, came through. So it was 4 of us. And we're sitting around the table and we're like, wow. Because usually, I have a good 18 or 20 in my home. And I was sitting there like, wow, this is amazing because of a disease or a pandemic or whatever you want to call it. It has disrupted everyone's home and their way they communicate, the way they talk, the way they relate, the way they can't even touch, you can't be around them. So it was a difficult Thanksgiving for me. I can tell you that right now. I'm more like my father out of all my brothers probably in regards to family time. I love my family. So my father was a family guy, and especially my immediate family, but I love my extended family as well. But when we have this time together, especially with my mom being older now and being the only parent now, we treasure those times that we can all get together and be around her and laugh and joke and talk about the old times and not have that experience. Now, what we did do, we had a little Facebook time call later on that afternoon, and that went well, but it wasn't the same. How about for you, Lucia?
It was private, I would say. I did get opportunity to visit my daughter and make one of her favorite dishes that I make for her, but I did not stay because she was expecting other people. And when you have when you're in the high risk factor pool, then you're very careful.
Right.
So for me, it was very different. But I did have a private but special Thanksgiving. I'm just learning that with this season that we're in, Rich, to make the best out of every single moment. We have been faced with this challenge, but I'm a firm believer that if we didn't have a challenge, we would never give God an opportunity to work a miracle.
True.
And so, we don't know what we can do until we're challenged. We don't know how we can make it through until we challenge. And so when, we always start the show and we always talk about a particular scripture. And I kind of struggle with a particular scripture for family, because with family, everybody has a responsibility. The Lord speaks to the children, he speaks to the wife, he speaks to the husband, and family is the very first institution that God created as a foundation for us. And so family is very important. We have extended family, like you said, we have blood relatives, but we have some extended family that may seem like they're even closer to us than even our blood relatives. And so when you talk about family, I feel like you're talking about those that actually are close and has participation in your life.
Right. True. Marcus, we got some music in the background. Yeah, so I agree with you, Lucia. Like I said, this time has been a trying time. So one thing about COVID it has done is bring families closer together, because those are the only ones they trust that will wash their hands, wear masks all the time for the most part. But yet it's still distance when you're doing that. And during this Thanksgiving this past, and now the Christmas season coming up, we got to ask ourselves, how do we continue to be excited about it? And that's why I mentioned the Jones family earlier, man. I'm flabbergasted on their enthusiasm for the holiday season with the decorating of the home inside and out. I mean, to the nines. I have to use them as an example. I know there's plenty more, but I have to know them and how they're doing it, man. And keeping that vibrant, that excitement.
Right.
That's great, and I love it. It's just crazy. It reminds me of my younger days. Like I said, my father was more passionate about all the holidays, but more importantly, Christmas was his day. I mean, I tell this story all the time that my father would go out and buy cartons of tangerines, oranges, apples, and half cartons of pecans, walnuts, and almond nuts.
What about some apple cider?
No, we didn't do the apple cider, but he bought these crates. I mean, really wooden crates, right? He literally with like 100 tangerines and 75 oranges and 100 apples and thousands of nuts, right? And we're like, okay, so we're all boys, and Jeannie, one girl, and we would go there and eat the tangerines and eat the oranges and eat some nuts, but we would never, listen to me, get nowhere near the middle of these carts. And so all the tangerines would go bad, all the oranges would go bad, half the apples again would get wormed later on, and then the nuts would last us a whole year. But it was a religious thing for him to do every year. He didn't care. This is his thing. This was his time of year. He loved the holidays, and more importantly, he loved Christmas. So we're trying to see if we can create that. Hey, Sally Warren. How you, Larry White? How you guys doing, man? We're going to be opening lines later on to talk about family. But we are trying to recreate these type of feelings and types of emotions and types of looks and feels now virtually, which is a little disconnected now. I think virtually works good for business and it works for family to keep connected. But during the holiday season, I would love to see my mom and love to see my brothers and dap them up and talk stuff and just have that little chuckle time together. Just a hug on her and chill. But these times are not there. So what do we do? That's what I'm saying. So what do we do? So we said we're going to talk about family. Did you have a scripture for us, Lucia?
Yes, I actually do have one.
Yep.
I have three. How about that?
Mm-hmm.
I want to speak to the father, because the father's the head of the family.
Right.
Anyone who does not provide for their relatives, and especially to their own household, has denied the faith and is worse than an unbeliever.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to speak to the wife. A wife of noble character is her husband's crown, but a disgraceful wife is like decay in his bones. And to the children, honor your father and your mother.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, I ain't got to look at this. I ain't got to look at that, Rich. I heard that so much when I was younger. Honor your father and your mother, that your days may be long upon the earth by which the Lord thy God giveth thee. So when you look at the scripture, when you look at God and family, we know God created Adam and Eve, and then he told them to be fruitful and multiply. And therein he created family. He's given everyone in the family responsibility. So it's not just the father that has responsibility. The mother has responsibility, and the children also have responsibility. So I'm a firm believer that we'll only have those of us that have strong family roots and morals and values is because that's how we were raised.
Absolutely.
That's how we were raised in the beginning.
Absolutely. And that's what this show is going to talk a little bit about, guys. So listen, we're going to open the lines, 855-493-6499, in about another 15 or so minutes. I'm going to watch on 15 or so minutes. Get your questions, your stories, whatever the case may be about this holiday season, how you feel, how you want to move, how you want to interact, talk about whatever, and keep it short and sweet. So get it together, get it ready. Hey, Yale, how are you? I mentioned you earlier, Yale. Please replay it, man. And earlier about your company, Poise T-shirts, man. I want to make sure I did that for you, man. PoiseT-shirts.com. Everybody go out there. So, Lucia, as you said that, and right. So apropos, God created this institution. It's the number one institution of America is the family.
That's right.
So within that thing, and I say this to everybody, you are created now. When you were born, when you're born, there's like this connection that you have with not only your family right there in the household, even your extended family. It's like it's a weird connection. You don't even know it. You just feel it, right? Mm-hmm. I could walk into a room. I tell you, I walked into a room one time, and I'm looking at this guy. I'm like, I don't know him, but I know him. You know what I mean? And he's looking at me like, I don't know him, but I know him too. And before we knew it, we had, because of curiosity, was killing us, and we get there, we had, we were kind of blood related to a certain degree, Mm-hmm. These things happen all the time, and family is so important. So I always give you some information that I like to hear about family, and this is what family does for us and done for me, man. And like you said, it creates your morals and your values for most of your life. This is why it's key today, guys. I'm telling you something. You parents today, you got to start. When I first meet somebody, Alicia, I can almost tell how they were raised.
Right.
Yeah. Let me turn it down a little bit, Alicia. So I can almost tell how they were raised. Oh, shoot. Based on how they interact with me and everything. So I can tell that they had either, not necessarily one or two parents, but the parents had specific rules and regulations and things in their lives that dictate how they were going to present themselves moving forward. So your first thing you got to realize is that you have to have some kind of structure. So in my household, I was lucky. I had my mother and my father.
Right.
And they created this infrastructure. They had, this is a basic infrastructure, whether you want to call it organization, institution. It was a basic infrastructure, law and order. And that's the next thing. Law and order has been presented. You know what I mean? So you got structure, you got law and order in the family, how things are going to rule, how things are going to go, what we're going to accept and what we're not going to accept, and then the ramifications if you don't do what we ask you to do. And I think that's what's missing today in a lot of the families today. And I'm hoping some of that gets back, because during this COVID season, I think a lot of things have been revealed about the household and the family structure. And some people see some gaps or some holes and saying, well, I wasn't raised like that. So why am I raising my kids or even letting my kid raise my grandkids in this country?
I saw also, I'm like you. I'm blessed. I was raised in a two-parent household, and I definitely had rules and regulations. Matter of fact, I'll tell you a story. I was in the kitchen one day, and my father, he called me Lisa. Lisa! That's how he called my name. You don't holler from downstairs. Yes, sir. You go upstairs and find out what daddy wanted. Right. Now, I nicely had an attitude that day because daddy wanted ice water and I was already in the kitchen. Uh-huh. But what he taught me was respect.
Right.
That taught me to honor him, to not holler at him, but to come and find out what he wanted. He was the one that provided for me. Yep. He was the one that took care of me. He was the one that taught the rules and the regulations in the house for me. And so he taught me respect. And so today, you're right. While we have this pandemic, I think a lot of families are challenged with some of the ways they raise their children and to try to redo some things.
Yep, absolutely.
Because now they have to spend all day with them, not the teachers.
And they're seeing some things that they didn't think that their child or kid was capable of doing or doing today. And they're kind of, some of it's good stuff, some of it's bad stuff, right? So that's what I'm saying. So we got to understand the family structure is here to formulate us in some shape, form, or fashion. Yeah, there's a wild child. Yeah, there's a spirit of blood in you that goes different ways and all that, but give you some kind of foundation to move forward. And that's why, and you notice, Lucia, and I'm going to tell you something. I don't know of anybody when I was a kid when their butts was not in church on Sunday. Their parents did not, because they, even though they didn't believe, they could be non-believers. They said they knew that my kid had to at least get this instinct or this experience in his life or her life, because they're going to need it later on, whether I believe or not.
Because the scripture, listen, Rich, you hit something right there, because our parents were like, raise the child the way you want them to go.
Yeah.
And when they grow old, they won't depart. They may stray, but they're going to come back to their foundation. And so, therefore, we were in church and we didn't complain about being in church. Matter of fact, my father had a timeline. You be ready at this time, because this is the time we're going to leave. You're not ready, you're going to have a problem when I come home from church.
That all goes back to structure, Lucia. See, and that's what we're missing a little bit of today. We're doing the willy-nilly thing, and we're trying the best, but sometimes we got to try a little harder. So you don't know you're formulating the person's mind, their feelings, their emotion, their psyche in a certain shape, form, or fashion. So now when I need help, and I'm always in help mode, and I know I have to start praying. I know I have to have a communication, because when I was young, my mother and father showed us this way, right? So their impressions on you while you're a family unit and while you're young is so powerful. It deals with religion. It deals with what you eat. It deals with your culture. It deals with your dress. It deals with respect. It deals with value. It deals with your education. See, there's two forms of education, right? There's a formal and an informal. They're going to make sure you go to school, but the education within a household, how to deal with life things, how to keep things moving, how to just deal with day-to-day obstacles and day-to-day goodness and things of that nature. That is taught within the house, within the family unit, because the family is the first place you really receive some kind of gratitude, love, respect, honor. It's within your siblings and your mom and your dad, your uncles and all that kind of good stuff. And it's important, man. And it deals with your self-esteem as well as how far you're going to get. My mother and father, man, I'm going to tell you something. One thing I always loved about them, they always push. They yo, you guys are going to be great. And hopefully we'll be around to see it, because we know you guys are going to be great. We're expecting great things out of it. We're not expecting ordinary. We're not expecting less than ordinary. Because they worked hard to get where they are today to show us what we have to do. And this is why family is so important to me, man. That's why this past Thanksgiving was heartbreaking for me. I was sitting in my room I'm usually the guy downstairs entertaining, but it was my nieces and my daughter. So my nieces and daughter was beautiful. I listened to them. They don't even know I was sitting on top of the steps. Listen, they were just talking. That's what I'm saying. This is what families are about. They have some similar female issues going on, and they were talking about that, and they were just talking about life in general and growing up and guys, and it was just like, man, this is what family is all about. You know, I almost cried.
Family is major. Family is major. You look at family, and you got people who are looking and researching, their what am I saying? Their where they came from. Their roots of their family, how far it traced back, their ethnicity, all of that stuff, their heritage. They're looking at that now. This pandemic has offered a lot of time for us to do research and things like that, is to allow us to realign, to reset, to refocus, to reestablish some order and some structure in our lives, and to identify actually what is most important.
Yes.
And family is one of the most, outside of God.
Yep.
Family is next.
No
and
question.
Family is very, very important because, I don't know about you, Rich, but I saw the post that was flying around Facebook that talked about our childhood and all of the different things that we had the pleasure and the leisure to be able to do when we were young, and how, we used to sit on the porch and at 8:00 when it got dark, and then we did all of these things because of discipline. We had discipline, and our family taught us not just respect, and see, the type of fear that we had for our parents was out of respect. It wasn't because we were scared of them. Now, listen, we ain't want no whooping. We ain't want none. But it was because we respected them and we honored them, and we knew that they loved us. And so
Absolutely.
family has to be rooted and grounded in love. And we can't skip this issue. We got family members today that are not speaking because they lost the concept that love covers a multitude of sins.
Absolutely.
And we all make mistakes, but we all deserve an opportunity to get it right. And
One of the things I said before, and we're going to open the line after this here. There's two things I want to say. The family love is almost unconditional, man. We've seen, kids get on drugs and rob their mother and father blind, but still, they love them.
That's
We've
right.
seen kids go to jail for years and doing nonsensical stuff, but they love them still.
That's right.
Because that's unconditional. That's my baby. That's my kid. That's my blood. I'm sorry. And everything is not going to turn out pretty right. So we got to understand that. And I say one thing, and you hit a note, man, that's very, very touching to me. And I have some family members, and I'm hearing that they're healing through some of it, but we still got some issues going on. I tell them all the time, whatever it is, it's small and petty. Let it go. Your family is more important to you. You do not want to leave this earth today knowing that you didn't fix that situation with your sibling that you lived with all your life, or the sibling you talk with, the cousin that you really know, or the family member that you just have an issue because she talks so much. This stuff people are going to be people, but at the same token, we are family, we are one. So I share this all the time. I say this right here. Family's like a hand. We're connected. There's no question about it. We come in all shapes and sizes. We got all kinds of functionality. I can't do what I do with my middle finger, what I can do with my thumb. I can't do with my index finger, what I can do with the pinky. I'm bigger, smaller. Some got fat fingers, some are tall. Some are skinny, some are tall. Some just got weird nails on, some got good nails. But guess what? We're one. And when I say we're one, we're one. We are family. Regardless, you can't take it from me. You can't move it. You can't remove it. We are family. And that's it. And just keep it moving, man. My father was a proponent, man. I'm going to tell you something. That's probably where I got my thing. He loves our name, McLaren. He respected it. He honored it. And he kept it in the forefront. And he wanted family to be family irregardless. And he had many arguments with his siblings, many arguments with his cousins, his nephews, and everything, but yet and still, he said, hey, when we get together, we together, man. I don't give a hoot. Nobody better not look, talk, nothing.
Listen, Rich, you touched something because you remember how we were raised. What went on in the house stayed in the house.
Woo!
Everybody wasn't in your
Yep.
business, and everybody didn't know what went on in your household. That's how we were raised. And so I think some of the breakdown in family also is because people are involved in things that they don't have a place in.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think that's one of the things that we have to look at. Another thing that is so very important, I can't escape this, is that we talk about family. We can't. When you raised your hand, you made me think about not just our natural family, but the body of Christ.
Yeah. Yeah.
We are family. We are a body, and we cannot continue to be disjointed because we're supposed to be one. And so you talk about family. I got a huge family.
Absolutely.
I got family I don't even know. You talked about the person you walked into a room, and I got people that claim me as cousins, because we came from this, we have families that were raised in the same part of the South in Virginia. And so we have extended family. We are the body of Christ. We have our natural family, but we're all, and I cannot get away from this one point, is that love. We got to love one another. We have to love one another because tomorrow is not promised. And like you said, everything and anything that's possibly could be a challenge or disturbance is petty.
Family is the first place where you learn rules and regulations. And you learn guidelines. You learn the path. You understand authority. You understand respect. You understand structure. You understand the power structure. You understand the family structure. You understand morals. You get your first support. You understand security and safety.
Right.
This is the first area you get this guidance. And I'm honored, man, to be in McLaren, man, especially Sylvester and Billy McLaren. So. And it's just a blessing. That's all I can say to you, man. And
Amen.
And this is where I'm like my dad. My dad would just, I'm very similar to him in this day, and especially this holiday season, man. It really gets to me when I can't connect to my brothers. Wow.
Right. Yeah, and it's difficult.
It is, you know what I mean?
That's real. It's difficult, and I feel like you too, Rich. My daddy used to say it like this: "Girl, you came from good stock. You came from good stock." And I look at my older cousins, those that are matriarchs and historians. We got historians in our families, people who know got all the history and all the roots and things like that. And so, and I honor them. I have a cousin that is so old, so much older than me. I call her auntie because I can't call her cousin. She like almost 80 years old. What I look like calling her cousin? And I just call her auntie. So you're right. Rules, regulations, respect, honor, taught how to honor yourself. We were taught in our families how to dream. We taught in our families how to have goals. We were taught our families how to be yourself. How to have self-esteem. We've been taught in our families how to save.
Let's see. I'm so flabbergasted. My mother had 5 natural boys, right? And my sister. But the boys is what I want to talk about. We all maybe look similar in some shape, form, or fashion, but we all are totally different individuals. So it's like, how do one manage that? It's like, you got a household, especially in tight quarters. I don't like to eat certain food. My brothers, they know I don't eat potato salad, egg. I don't eat pork and beans. But yeah, everybody else eats it. You know what I mean? And then they might not eat. I mean, I'm just using examples of how they had to manage this dynamic of 5 different personalities, a set of twins in that 5 that were totally like night and day. It's incredible, man, to see that management. But what I want to say too, and real quick, and we'll open the lines right now, guys. Get your questions ready. You can even make them in the comments, your questions, or if you have something you want to comment, we'll read it. 855-493-6499. The lines are open. Dial in. We want to hear from you. But the thing that I was amazed about was how they got through Oh man, I lost my thought that quick. Let's see. You know I'm getting old. I lost my thought that quick. But I want to thank everybody. Angel, how you doing? Kim, how you doing? Hey, Pastor Clinton Brunson, how are you? How's everybody doing, man? We want to say thank you for coming on. Pastor in the building. Wanda, hey, Wanda from North Carolina in the building. Charlotte, how you doing, Wanda? Larry White, my man. How you doing, Larry, man? Love you all, man. I'm glad you guys are watching. I'm hoping you make a comment. I hope somebody calls in. We want to hear what.
Yes, I'm hoping Pastor Burston will call in and talk to us.
Yes, that would be beautiful too, as well.
It'd be awesome. It's awesome because she was a PK. She's a preacher. She's a pastor herself, but she was a PK also, like you.
Yeah. It was tough out here, man. Tough out there for us, you know. But I was
a deacon kid.
I was a deacon kid too. My father passed
deacon kid.
So that's a blessing, man. That's a blessing, man.
Yeah, absolutely. Were you getting ready to say how they got through?
Oh no, what I want to say. This is what I want to say. Now we got to understand something too. There's a dynamic happening today, and I want everybody to understand this. And I don't know why. I think I know pretty much why it is, but at the same token, I want everybody to recognize it. So, you know, see, I don't know about you. My father was one of 16.
Yep.
Okay? 8 and 8.
Yep.
8 boys, 8 girls, I believe it was. Yeah. I'm pretty sure that's what it was. Not 9. It was 8 and 8. And back in the day, that was a norm. 14, 12 kids. Norm. 18 was norm. Now, come down to his generation. He has 6.
Mm-hmm.
You hear me now? You hear where I'm going?
Right.
I had 1.
Right.
You follow me?
That's right.
So I'm saying that, you know, we are watering down our families slowly but surely. I don't know if it's a economic thing. I don't know if it's a generational thing. I don't know if it's we don't see the households. I can tell you right now, I don't know any household that has more than 4 or 5 kids right now. Me.
Mm-hmm.
Now, there could be. Now, they were poor and had 16. We middle class having 2. I think we got a call. No, we don't. Okay. 2. Think about this. There's something going on there. I don't know what that is, but I felt like a need just came across to me to talk about that number system of how there was 16 McLarens willing out there earlier to put out the name and the reputation. They had kids. Their kids now put out 4 hits. And the numbers just keep going down and down and down. Before you know it, might be extinct. Who knows?
I'm wondering, is it society? It's a society thing, Rich, because, you know, the demands upon family now, you know, we have to, you know, families have to, you got a father and a mother that has to work, you know, to pay the bills in the household. So the financial dynamics also, I think, play a role on how much you can afford. Back then, the mother oftentimes did not work. The dad did. You know, my father too was one of 17, and my mother was one of 16.
See, my mother was one of 1, one of 2, one of 2. I think she. Well, I know she had one or 2. I can't remember exactly. But her side was small, but her side was big. So we had a different dynamic there. Such as my mother's side of the family is very, 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 very small. Now, still, my father's side of the family is still pretty large, even though the numbers have dwindled.
Right.
You know what I mean? And before it was like this, now it's like this, and my mom's was like this, now it's like this. So, I don't know. Something just came in my head about, wow, that is different. That's why. So, who's carrying it on? So if you don't have a male, then the male carries the last name. Where you take it from there? You follow me?
That's right. Right. Absolutely. Then the name ends right there.
Yeah.
There's no one else to carry on that heritage. Absolutely.
So that's why my father wrote a book, man. He wrote a book. He wasn't playing, man. He said, I'm gonna leave. I'm gonna let everybody know this legacy right here, man. Truly blessed.
Right.
Right here with her. Yeah, coming out there, right? And no, it's not coming out
It's
there.
going in and out.
Yeah, truly blessed, man. That's my mom and dad right there, guys. I love them to death. My father was hell bent on printing this book. He didn't. I'm telling you, I don't think if he wouldn't have printed this, I don't think he would have. I don't think he was going to be right until he got that done. He wanted that story to get out. He wanted everybody to know our history, our lineage, where we came from, where we at, where we've been, what we're doing, what he's done in his life, coming from sharecropping and all that craziness. Man, come on, man. But that's who we are. We family, man. Mom, anybody, Miss Bronson, Reverend Bronson, Pastor Bronson, excuse me. Anybody like to call in to 1-855-493-6499 and just talk or say a little.
Now, for the rest of the month, we're still going to talk about family. And Rich, I think we're going to break it down in different portions of the family. Like we're talking about the overall family as an opening this week. But maybe next week we'll talk about the different roles, the different family roles and the family dynamics.
Absolutely.
The one thing that I did address, but I don't want to pass over, and I don't want to make this passive, is that forgiveness in the family and learning how to work together as a family. We've become disjointed. Back then, there was communication all the time in the family. We had the rotary phone and, we didn't have cell phones. We got more ability to communicate now than ever before. But how many of us really do communicate with our family? How many of us really do still keep in touch with our family to make sure that we're keeping the lines of communication open, that we're building up one another, that we're encouraging one another? Because this is a difficult time for many. It really is, and we need our family.
I'm gonna tell you a little story. So the last time my mom came to my house was for my birthday weekend, and they were going back and forth from New York to Columbia, doing some business because now she lives in South Carolina. And my mom walked in my house and she was full garbed up. I mean, full garbed up, like the hazmat suit, the vinyl joint, the mask.
That's right. Face shield.
You couldn't even, and once again, I got to respect her because she's older and she got underlying issues. But I just said, wow, what we come to in America right now to have this thing happen to us in this shape, form, or fashion, it's devastating. So, I took a trip this past week. I had a birthday party in Las Vegas, and I was sitting in the airport. And this is no lie. I'm sitting in the airport, and I got my mask on. I'm looking around. I was like, are we in a third world country, or is this America? I mean, I really was. I'm getting on an airplane, and I'm seeing just nothing but masks. You can't recognize a lot of people saying, hey, Rick, I didn't know who it was because you got the mask on. You know what I mean? So this is a different time, man. It's a different place. We got to figure it out. We got to work through it. I'm glad that my daughter and the young folks have started that FaceTime thing for us, where we have a weekly call. We had the Thanksgiving call. Of course, we're gonna have a Christmas call. And it works. It works for now, but it's not the same. But I'm hoping that next year we can actually get together and mingle and talk and laugh. Ain't nothing like touching, feeling, hugging, kissing, talking to each other face to face. Ain't nothing like that good time right there, man. So listen, 855-493-6499. Come on, give me a talk about your holiday, man. Was it good? Was it bad? Was it different? How do you feeling? Because we're going to talk about this all month, because we're going to build up until, Christmas. Talk about how we can get through as a family, man. I think that we've gotten through as a family through this pandemic season. I think we must continue that and continue in that same vein. But when these holidays come, it becomes tough, especially these two, Thanksgiving, which is traditionally gathering, and then again on Christmas, which is another traditional gathering. So my family usually gets together either 2 or 3 days before Christmas as a whole family, so everybody can have their own individual settings at Christmas, or we do it right after Christmas, so everybody can have their own individual families, because everybody's married, everybody has their siblings, and not the siblings, but their significant other, and they have family members as well. But the McLarens seem to take over, so we we need to have these holidays. But then the wives or the husbands, the wives or the husbands, the boyfriends step in and they say, "Yo, well, I got family too."
Right.
But we as McLarens think that we run it, That's what we do, man. We're all excited about this time, man. We love this season. I love this season. I know my mom loves this season, man. And I know it's different for her now and difficult for her, but she gets through it just by seeing us and seeing us smile, seeing us successful, seeing us happy. We
have a call. We have a caller. Yes. Excited that we have a caller. Family is everything. Family is everything, man. Everything. And you know what? We got to be encouraged that in the midst of this that we're going through, we still have to be creative in how we spend time with our family. We ready for our caller?
Yep.
Good morning, caller.
Hi, it's Bruce. And it's again two of my favorite people in the world. Bruce Metcalf.
Bruce Metcalf, Lucia.
Bruce Metcalf. What the world?
I saw it pop up. Bruce was live and couldn't say to see it was live, but it was so great to see you guys together.
Good. How you doing, Bruce? Man, how's the family?
Everybody's doing working from home today, thank goodness. Give me a breather.
How was Thanksgiving different for you this year, Bruce?
I'm living in a house for now. We're building a house in Frederick, so that's why we did it, so we'd be closer to her up here. Okay. And I'm still driving back and forth, but so we're living in her house, and she had over his family, and it was nice. We enjoyed it. I did most of the cooking, but it still worked out fine. Nobody didn't kill anybody. It was nice.
Yeah.
Good, man. Well, wow, man. It's good hearing from you, Bruce, man. I appreciate you calling in, man.
I was going to say something positive.
The pandemic affected your communication with your family. I know you guys are significantly closer family. I heard
you've really been trying to social distance.
Okay.
Yeah, it is. I think masks improve the looks of a lot of people. Nah, just kidding. But there might be a benefit from it. I think it's probably slowing the influx of drugs in this country. I think that drugs probably are not as easy to get through. There's not as many people on the street. If any way we slow drugs down, then it'll surely improve the family life in the long run.
Yeah,
because drugs have destroyed so many families in this world.
True.
Amen.
Well, thank you for calling in, Bruce, man. We appreciate you, fam.
Yes, sir. So nice to hear your voice, Bruce. Oh, my goodness. I could have jumped out of my seat.
Put a smile on my face. Two of my favorite people. All right. Well, God bless you guys, and have a great one.
You too. Bless you, Bruce.
That works. Thank you, Bruce.
That was awesome. Wow, Rich. What a delight.
That was a flashback, wasn't it?
Yeah, yes, it was. How many years?
Oh, man, me and Bruce go back to 90, 97, 98, maybe 99, around there. And man, Bruce, he's one heck of a guy, man. Real good guy, man. Great family. His wife has a funny name. Oh, God, what's his wife?
I think it begins with an F.
Oh, wow, his wife.
Bruce, put your wife's name in the chat for us.
Too, man. I wanted to say hi to her.
She's a sweetheart.
She's a sweetheart, man. And like I say, we all have extended families too. You know what I mean? Like Bruce is a family member of mine, a business family member of ours that became a friend family member.
Mm-hmm.
So it's amazing what happens, man. Nicole and Martina just joined on board, and those two's got strong, big, beautiful families as well. And I know that they had a tough time with the, I know they had a tough time with this past holiday weekend because Nicole especially, she lays it out. She does a big thing for her family. Martina goes to Delaware to see her mother and father and all that good stuff. So people, if you have something you'd like to say, Spring, yes. Her name was Spring.
Spring, yeah.
Right, exactly.
I knew it was with an F.
Yeah. But Yeah. So if you got anything you want to say about family at this time, anything about this past holiday and how you enjoyed it or what was missing, 855-493-6499. Please feel free to call in, guys. We need your participation, man. We need your love, man. We need some encouragement, too. Me and Lucia, we sit here, we encourage each other, but we'd love to be encouraged by you as well. Please do us the honor and call in and just holler at us, man, and say, hey,
drop a word.
It was a great weekend. I had a great weekend, because I was off, but on the same token, I miss my fam. So that's all I can say.
Yeah, I miss traveling, Rich. I'm going to say honestly, I miss traveling.
Oh, you do? Okay.
I miss traveling. If this is the third or fourth year so that I have not traveled to Virginia to see my family.
Wow.
And it's not even far, but with all that's been going on the last several years, I haven't been able to travel. And then with the pandemic coming up, then I definitely couldn't travel. And so, that's another thing. I think we have another caller.
Another caller with the record things. Yeah. Record things. That's what I'm talking about. Yes.
Thank you, caller.
Hello?
Yes, good morning. Thank you for calling. Please give us your name.
This is Wilbur. How you doing today?
Oh, family. How you doing, Wilbur?
What's up, family? How y'all doing?
So
wonderful.
Wonderful.
How you doing, sir?
Yeah.
How was your holiday? How was your Thanksgiving?
Wonderful. I got to see all the family. That's my main thing, just seeing everybody because of this pandemic, Even if it was for a moment. Okay. And I couldn't eat that much, so I was good. So,
Okay.
I wanted some banana pudding, but Marcus ate all that. So, I couldn't eat it. So, but it's all good.
Good, man.
But how y'all doing, man? How y'all doing? It's good to see y'all. So I'm not there this morning. I'm at work. So.
Right. Thank you so much for calling in because we're really looking, and you can be thinking about this too, how we can create family atmosphere over this holiday season that although we are separate, we're separate, but we're not disconnected, if you will. How we can still create that camaraderie, that love, and how we can build with our family, despite that we cannot be together, because it is difficult for most of us.
Yes, it is. It is. One thing that helps me out is Zoom, dealing with the duo and the seeing each other's faces. That helps me out a lot. Because a lot of my friends from college, who I may see if they come through the city to play somewhere, I can't see them. So I just would call them up through the certain apps and everything where I could see their faces. And we just talk like that because we're not gigging like that, so you can't see them, And most of this will be the time I will see a lot of them come in town, And this year is not like that, so but that's the only thing that's sad about this time. I can't see my go out and see a concert. That's like wow, I can't go to a concert. A gospel concert, a jazz concert. I just can't. A neo soul concert,
Wow.
And that's been one of my biggest drawbacks of this whole situation. That you can't get out and socialize like you really would want to. Even the outside thing, it's too cold to be outside right now.
Right.
Yeah. We don't. All of us don't live in Florida, or live in LA and stuff like that. So it's like, So, but that's
I believe we have another. Thank you so much for calling.
Okay,
I think we have another caller.
Oh, that's a blessing. All right. Talk to y'all later. Peace. Bye.
Yep,
all right. Love you.
Thank you, Wilbur.
All right. Love you too. Peace. Bye.
Peace, man. This is what I'm talking about. These are like people that are calling that we know, that extended family, and like you said, struggle with that, man. That visual is something else, man. Laying eyes on you. Because I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna put something out tomorrow that man, we say we good, we ain't good. Stop that, man. Stop the line, man. A lot of stuff, man. I'm like, you say, yeah, man, you good?
Right.
You good? Yeah, I'm good. Nah, I'm gonna stop telling the truth, man. Nah, I ain't good. Whatever the situation may be. If I'm not good, I'm just not good, man. I'm not good with this holiday. I was good with the pandemic, working through it, getting through it. Everybody, going through their processes with the mask and everything. But this holiday part, I ain't good with it. It's all right.
Yeah.
Just ain't good with it. You know what I mean? But
yeah.
I gotta see it through.
It's a challenge. It's a challenge. It is a challenge. But we are presented with change. And where there's no change, there's no growth.
True.
And so we are presented with this challenge in order that we still might thrive and not survive, but thrive and still grow in the midst of what we're going through. So I just want to encourage anybody that's really having a hard time. I spoke with someone a couple of days ago, was just got out of a situation with depression. And so, I don't want to minimize it, but I want to encourage you that it is, yes, a challenge, but you need to reach out to someone, have conversation with someone. The worst thing for us to do in this season is to isolate.
Yeah.
Whether it's FaceTime, whether it's just talking on the phone, whether it's like what was that, duo, whatever mechanism you use to be able to connect to people, we need to do that. Because we were not meant to be disjointed at all.
Hey, Gerald, how you doing, man? I'm hoping you're still on, man. 12550. Earlier, man, I gave a tribute to our boy Terry Williams, man. LD. I gotta say that, man. I'm devastated. Once again, I knew him, and I know him well, but my brothers knew him better than I did. I know he's one heck of an athlete. Went to an extraordinary university. One of the ones went to one of the first major. Him and Butch went to the major SMU, Methodist, Southern Methodist, SMU in Texas, and they both did well. And he made it to the NBA for a while. And his passing has hurt our city real deeply. A lot of brothers knew him, man. A lot of sisters, a lot of family. I know my dad would, if he was here, he'd be in tears because he knew him real well as well. And I know my mom too. So I just want to shout out to the 12550 family in Newburgh, New York. The LD and the Williams family. Okay, let's see you.
We have another caller. Good morning, caller.
Good morning, Rick and Lucia. How are you guys today?
Wonderful. Please give us your name.
Nicole Fortune.
This is Nicole Fortune.
I thought so, Nicole. I just wanted to make sure.
And I just want to just call up and encourage you guys and just thank you for your consistency, right? I know it gets difficult to continue to push forward with your vision and your passion and your purpose, right? But you guys are consistent every single week. And so I just want to thank you guys and just, encourage you that when you are consistent, when you remain hopeful, then blessings do come. So I speak increase over your show, over your viewership, and over all that you guys hope to accomplish. So I just want to call up and encourage you guys and say thank you for your consistency. As far as Thanksgiving is concerned, very low-key for us, and thanks for having this topic. We played Uber Eats. I think it's really important for us to, and not technically Uber Eats, but it's really important since we couldn't get together to make sure that the elderly folks within our family had a meal. And so, it's easy to kind of forget about people that you don't typically see. You're 4 and no more. But I would encourage us to continue to reach out to those elderly folks to make sure they're okay and also provide whatever they need in the meantime. So that's what we did on Thanksgiving. We drove around and dropped off food, cooked, and went and dropped off food, and it was a blessing, and people were really appreciative.
Wow.
That's awesome, Nicole.
That's what I'm
Hats
talking
off
about.
to you. That is awesome.
That is
To
beautiful.
serve someone in the
Beautiful.
midst of this. I mean, that is just amazing. So thank you
that's
so much.
That's a person, though. Let me tell you something. She got a big family, man. And when I just read her note about her, she couldn't see her mom. I know she struggled. She's got a big family. When she gives an event, man, the whole house, the backyard, the front yard, driveway, everything is just full with people, So
Really.
I know they struggle, but they made it happen. That is beautiful. Thank you, Nicole, so much. Thank you so much. Yes.
Thanks, guys, and thanks for your consistency, and have a good day.
You do the
Yeah.
same. Thank you. And she made another comment, and I think that we cannot close this show because or this broadcast without making the mention. The governor was on yesterday,
Yep.
and we must remain and continue to be vigilant and wear our masks. Now, he gave a shout out to the state of Maryland at being 96% of us were actually adhering to guidelines and were wearing the mask. And so, doing the social distancing and things like that. But the case numbers, there are over 1,500 people in the hospital right now. Mm-hmm. So we must remain vigilant. It's not a question of whether we have an opportunity. It's not an infringement on our liberties to keep people safe, because it's not just about my safety or your safety, but it's about everybody's safety that I may possibly come in contact with in any given day. And so that goes right back to love. If we say we love one another, we love people, we want to make sure that we keep everybody safe. And I know beyond a shadow of a doubt, listen, from the time this thing was announced till now, we still here.
Yep.
And for that, I'm grateful for. We are still here. We pray for those families and people who have lost loved ones. But we do celebrate that God has still given us grace, and he shined his mercy on all of you, and that we still been here celebrating and talking about these important topics every week with you. So just to really encourage you. Really, that's all what it's about. If I can just touch one person along the way,
so
then my living is not in vain. That's an old song. That's
absolutely. So we're gonna talk about family the rest of the month. There is something I did miss, man, and I hope they don't kill me because their mother's on the call right now. But I want to congratulate Brian and Alexa, my other daughter, for their wedding and the wedding vow, and one of the most beautiful weddings I've ever been to in my. And I've been to a lot of weddings, but this wedding was one of the top notch. They did a great job. Congratulations to Mr. and Mrs. James now. We are proud of you guys, man. We want you guys to continue on and do your thing. And we love you, Brian and Alexa. And that's our girl Laverne's daughter.
Okay.
I went through a lot of stuff over the last year and a half health-wise, and she was there and looking beautiful and having a good time and enjoying life, man. It was beautiful, man. It was just a real good occasion. So we're all happy and excited about that. I would say, guys, we're going to talk about family all week. Get your questions ready. Get your comments ready. We're going to break down the family a little bit next week and give you our thoughts on that. And we're going to open the lines early again, and hopefully you will join in with us again. We're asking you to do so. Please do so. We want to thank you for tuning in. Next Wednesday at 10 o'clock, please come through. We're excited, man. We're just keeping it moving. I gotta thank my sponsors again, man. And I gotta say this because we're getting some new sponsors. Opar Law, MGM Haberdashery, Cashland Apparel, Cigar Diva, Sterling Associates, Prominent Home Inspection, I Am Empowered, Food for Thought, my man Damian Hughes, Lisa Luxury Consignment Shop, Electric Butterfly, Delia Frozen. And our new one, we're hoping to come on once Lucia gets her product and says that product is the Diggity Youth Base by Mary Woods out of Newburgh, New York. Man. Newburgh keeps putting out the hood hits, man. So we're excited about that particular sponsor coming on hopefully eventually. And also, like I shared with you, poisetshirts.com. My man Yale and his wife Andrea. We must support these small businesses, man. Lisa's Luxury Consignment, girl. You gotta keep supporting these guys as we move forward. We love you all because they're all in our family, and we want you all to be blessed and highly favored. We want you to continue to keep the faith during this pandemic season. Don't lose the faith and don't lose your family. So don't lose the 2 F's. Family and faith. Keep it moving. Thank you.
That's right. I just want to add one thing, Rich. If you guys have any suggestions or any questions, please feel free to inbox.
Yep.
Please feel free to put your questions or anything like that in the inbox, and we'll make sure that we address them as well. Again, thank you for joining us this week, and we will see you on next Wednesday on Strength, Courage, and Wisdom.
Strength, courage, and wisdom. Okay, y'all. Thank you so much. God bless.
Strength, courage, and wisdom with a rich plan. Strength, courage, and wisdom.
Hey y'all, it's your boy Rick McClaren, as you know it. Strength, Courage, and Wisdom every Wednesday at 9 a.m. now. That's a new time. Every Wednesday at 9 a.m. we are producing this show. We are on Facebook Live. We are on MIXXSTATION Radio, MIXXSTATION Live app, iTunes, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and Apple Podcasts, all under MIXXSTATION Radio. Listen, guys, before we're just Facebook Live, but you heard all the other stations that we're on. We need you all to tune in. Thank you. Call, but I'm like,
Are we still live? I think we're still live.